We've got the 6th circle, which I think is the last circle. Because I did this. I don't know if I did it now, but I did it around. No, I think I did it when I was... I can't remember. I did some wandering, because I didn't know what I was doing. You slide the plates into the configuration Dakon showed you, and a new ring is revealed. The ring carries the same script as you read before, with the same geometries. You know the symbols, and know you can read them. Read the 6th circle of Zerthaman. Upon the blasted plains, Zerthaman told Gith there cannot be two skies. In the wake of his words came war. Upon the blasted plains, the people had achieved victory over their Illithid masters. They knew freedom. Reading. Yet before the green fires had died from the battlefield, Gith spoke of continuing the war. Many, still filled with the bloodlust in their hearts, agreed with her. She spoke of not merely defeating the Illithids, but destroying all Illithids across the plains. After the Illithids had been exterminated, they would bring war to all other races they encountered. In Gith's heart, fires raged. She lived in war, and in war she knew herself. All that her eyes saw, she wanted to conquer. Zerthaman spoke the beginnings of that which was against Gith's will. He spoke that the people already knew freedom. Now they should know themselves again and mend the damage that had been done to the people. Behind his words were many of the hearts of the people who were weary of their war against the Illithid. Know that Gith's heart was not Zerthaman's heart on this matter. She said that the war would continue. The Illithid would be destroyed. Their flesh would be no more. Then the people would claim the false worlds as their own. Gith told Zerthaman that they would be under the same sky in this matter. The words were like bared steel. From Zerthaman came the pronouncement of two skies. In the wake of his words came war. Small round stone, blah blah blah. We will leave it alone. We will chat with Dakon.
What is your will?
There are things that I would know, Dakon. Can I talk to you about the teachings? I've read the Unbroken Circle of Zerthaman. I wish to speak to you more about the way of Zerthaman. What did you come to know? I know that Zerthaman's devotion to the people was such that he was willing to protect them from themselves. He knew the Illithids had come not to know themselves in their obsession with control and domination, so he chose to stop Gith before she carried the people to their deaths. There must be balance in all things, or else the self will not hold. You have seen the words and know them. Dakon's voice slows and his hands grip the edges of the unbroken circle. He twists it clockwise and there is a click as two plates slide forth. Dakon stares at the two plates in his hand. He makes no move to hand them to you. Dakon, is that second plate for you? Dakon falls silent. His blade has ceased shimmering, the film freezing upon its surface. He is staring at the second plate, paralyzed. Do you know the 6th circle? Dakon looks up, but his coal-black eyes do not meet your gaze. No, there is nothing more I may teach you. You know the way as the people know it, and it shall give you the direction by which you may know yourself. That is not what I asked. Do you know the 6th circle or not? Dakon is silent for a moment, and then he speaks, his voice slow and careful. It has come to pass that I do not know the 6th circle of Zerthaman. Once I knew it, but I know now I only saw the words. Dakon's eyes stare through you, that is all. It is my path that I no longer know the way of Zerthaman. Dakon, there is one other thing I would know. Why is Vilqua's eye in the circle of Zerthaman? It seems strange. It tells of how the people benefited from a treachery from their own. It seems... Dakon's eyes flash. I have told you, it is part of the telling of how the people came to know freedom. Do you not listen? His voice flattens as if he is reciting a passage from memory. It tells the people that even in the greatest treachery, a greater knowing may be achieved. It doesn't sound to me like you believe that. I think there's another reason Vilqua's eye is in the circle of Zerthaman. It is set there because of the 6th circle and the pronouncement of two skies. It's there to justify Zerthaman's treachery to the people upon the blasted plains. Dakon is silent. His blade bleeds into a dead black. teeth rippling along the edge. He divided the people upon the blasted plains, Dakon. He divided your race when they were on the path to victory. I would like to believe it was because he wished to save the people from themselves, but I'm not sure that you believe it. Dakon is silent for a moment, and then he speaks, but slowly. I do not know the sixth circle as it is known to others. I fear that the third circle, the fourth circle, and the sixth circle are more closely linked than many know. It is in that knowing that I have lost myself. In the third circle, Zerthaman submerged his will to deceive the Illithids. Then in the fourth circle, it speaks of the benefits of treachery. Then in the sixth circle, Zerthaman divides his people before they exterminate the Illithids. Do you think Zerthaman's words may not have been his own? Know my words, and know the wound that lies upon my heart. I fear that when Zerthaman was upon the Pillars of Silence, he did not submerge his will. I fear that his will was taken from him by the Illithids, and when he spoke upon the blasted plains, it was their words he spoke. I fear that what he did was not for the people's sake, but for our former masters. It's possible, but no, it doesn't necessarily mean that he
updated my journal.
Then know this and speak of it no more. Dakon's voice is like a knife. Know that I shall never know the truth. There is no resolution to this matter, for I shall never know Zerthaman's heart upon the blasted plains. His coal-black eyes glare at the stone circle in his hand, and so I do not know myself because of the unbroken circle of Zerthaman. Very well, we shall discuss this no more. Let us move on. Right, there we go. I'll give the other one to Dakon, of course. That's only correct. Balancing all things. So when hit the same number of times as level 4, basically every enemy within this radius who hits you, every enemy, when you're hit, every enemy within this radius gets hurt, is what happens. So there you go. You don't have anything.
Ignis will not part with it.
Okay. You don't need it. I have a lot of random stuff in here. Here's the thing: is there's loads of little items that I don't know how useful they are. And so you get rid of. Sometimes you drop the stuff you don't need, and then you find out actually I did need that. Oops. What do I need to do? I've met Aelwyn. I know where she is. It's all in the Clark's Ward. Let's head back to the Clark's Ward then.
I'm gone.
I wonder if any of the items in the shop actually would help with the forgetfulness. Because Merriman, right, here's the thing. Merriman up here wants to forget so that we can get the keys for Delora, so that we can then learn about Echo. So I need something that will help him forget, and I don't have something because I tried to talk to him before. Let's talk to him. Fall from Grace.
How may I help you?
I had some questions. Would you like to join me on my travels? Anna stiffens. Who's to say she'll be coming with us? We don't need the likes of her, so we don't. Yes, we do. She's a healer. As you noticed before in the saves, I did recruit her before, and she did some nice healing. Oh, that feeling. Mort clicks his teeth together. I'm all for the succubus coming with us. The powers know you're about as fun as passing a caltrop through your bowels. No, I'm giving him Imana's voice now. You'd best latch your bone box skull or I'll rattle you so hard they'll be picking your teeth off the spire. Travel with you? Fall from Grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring your companions. That's rather forward of you. I'd rather be honest with my intentions. You seem extremely pleasant and well versed in them. No. Oops. I'm not sure. Let's go. No, you're a sensei. Surely there must be a limit to how much you can learn here. I think you would be surprised. If you want me to accompany you on your travels, I need a far more compelling reason than that. You mean you wouldn't be interested in traveling with an immortal amnesiac who is searching the plains for himself? Oh, I would be extremely interested, she smiled slightly. Such a suggestion is intriguing, make no mistake about that. Then would you like to travel with me then? If you wish me to, then there's something you must do for me. There are 10 students in this establishment. I think I've jumped ahead on this. I would like you to speak to all of them, and then return to me with your thoughts. Then we shall see if we shall travel together or not. Can I ask you some other questions before I go?
Updated my journal.
What? What? Oh, right, there we go. I spoke to 9 of the students as you asked, but I could not find the 10th. Because I've already done all this, right? And you could not find the 10th student. How curious. I'm part of me tempted with the other answers, but I know that this is the one I did want. This is the one I went with, and it worked. So, I'm assuming it. I wonder if she says, can you tell me where the 10th student might be found? I want to ask that. The student is around. Perhaps you should look harder. I am thinking the 10th student is me, in which case I've spoken to all of them. Very well, and your thoughts? You should get rid of all the armoires. I've learned what it means. Like, teaching them in a sheltered environment such as this only harms the student. Well, it depends how sheltered. Like, this isn't particularly sheltered. Anyone can come in. I've learned what it means to aspire to be a sensate, and that is better to go in search of experience rather than have it come to you. Very well. I will travel with you. Still down my company. I do.
Oh, Mistress High and Mighty will be joining us. What do we need her for?
You couldn't possibly understand.
I wish she would fall from a great height. I might even bump her off myself.
When I did this earlier, I like this, but when I did this earlier, Mort had taken a lot of damage, and Fall from Grace being a healer, she went and healed him. So in the middle of that conversation, all you can hear is and paused, and round-ended, and all the various magical sounds. It's a little annoying.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't do all of these questions, did I? Of course I didn't. Can you tell me about the Tanari? The Tanari are fiends. Some call them demons. They have embraced evil for chaos' sake. They dwell upon the poisoned plains of the abyss, where they feed on their own rage and lash out across the multiverse, despoiling all that they touch. They forever seek to tempt others into committing crimes of passion and vice. Are you Tanari? That is correct. I am a lesser Tanari, more specifically, a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes, and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh. Clearly not. And you? I'd like to think that I've distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There is much more to life, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
More questions. How did you come by the name Fall from Grace? The meaning of names is a complicated subject. There is much to be said, and a great deal that is better left unsaid. So she's telling us, don't ask anymore. She's kind of saying maybe we should leave it, maybe don't ask anymore. Names are very important. They can describe a lot about people. For example, I'm apparently gentle and strong, and a village in Shropshire. Which, of course, that's my real name. Dragonster, I like dragons. Very well. Let's see more questions. Can you tell me what you know about the Sensates? The Sensates are the faction of Sigil that are devoted to experience. Without experience, without sensation, we are blinded to much of the multiverse. Thus, Sensates seek to experience as much as possible. When all is experienced, then the truth of the multiverse shall reveal itself.
Yes.
More questions. Can you teach me anything of the art? No, I do not believe so. The art and the disciplines I practice are different. How do you mean? My powers, as you see them, stem from my faith, not from manipulating energies as the art does. The art is a mechanism by which the power of the multiverse may be harnessed through gestures, rituals, and devices. My powers come to me through a different means. My faith and the nature of my belief allows some of the multiverse to reveal itself to me. What do you believe in then? I believe in experience, you and the player of every RPG. I believe a person may be changed, for the better, the more of the multiverse they are allowed to perceive, and the more the multiverse is allowed to perceive them. My belief in the nature of experience allows me to... She pauses for a moment, thinking about millionaires and politicians who are all obnoxious, and not all of them. The ones who are obnoxious. But they've probably experienced a lot of the world. I mean, I suppose the best explanation is that my faith allows me to see things differently. When you see the multiverse in such a way, you learn how to change things. Mending wounds, seeing a person's heart, and so on, just by willing them to happen. But those changes you make seem a lot like spells. How do you learn to do those things? No, my spells, as you call them, they come to me after I have rested and centered myself. When I sleep and awaken, I can focus myself once more. The amount of faith required to change the multiverse around me can be quite taxing on the psyche, I'm afraid. Just being able to see how to change things is not enough. You must have the strength to make the change happen and last. Can I see some more questions? Ooh, companions.